Hello, this is Brian Mounts. I run turfmechanic.com and this channel. Today I'm coming to you with two leaf blowers because it's autumn. Today is the second day of fall, and it's always exciting when a new season starts, except for all these trees back here are going to start dropping their leaves. Today I want to talk about two really awesome battery-powered leaf blowers. I've got a handful of others in the garage, and I've compared and reviewed a number of them earlier this season on the channel in the late summer. Feel free to dig into my archives and take a look at some of those. But these leaf blowers are really two of the best ones out there. If you're looking for a battery-powered leaf blower, these really are one of the best ones. One of the other really commonly purchased ones that people tout as the best is the Ego model. Make sure to take a look at some of the previous videos I have on that. But currently, these are the two that I'm going to be using almost every time this fall. Even though I've got others in the garage, these are my go-tos. Greenworks Pro 80 volt, and this is the Toro 60 volt. Let's see, Greenworks Pro, this is a 580 CFM, 145 mph according to the box. Toro, this is a 605 CFM and a 115 mph out of the box. If you have no idea the difference between CFM and mph, make sure to take a look. There's a little link somewhere up here. I have a video talking about the difference between those two things. It'll also be down in the description below. However, that's the box statistics. And, you know, in the real world, it doesn't really matter what those statistics are because you basically are using these things in not laboratory settings. I created my own little lab not too long ago where I basically took a kitchen scale and I blew air into the scale to see how much weight or force was put on the scale by these blowers. And in doing that, I was able to find which ones really kind of put the most amount of force on something right there on the ground, because that's how you use a leaf blower. You point it at the leaves and it moves it. This machine was the strongest one. This has been the strongest battery-powered leaf blower that I have tested. I mean, it's a 605 CFM. Even though the mph rating is smaller than this simply made more of a difference in terms of pound of pressure put on that scale. I was able to get, using the turbo button, I was able to put a full 4 pounds and 10 ounces of pressure onto my kitchen scale, whereas this, using the turbo button, I was only able to get 4 pounds and 3 ounces. Now, what does that mean for blowing leaves? I don't know, but I do know that this has more pressure. This was able to put more pressure on whatever it was that I was blowing. Now, in not all situations do you want maximum force. For low, the true low setting, the Greenworks Pro 80 volt had the lowest low setting of any blower that I tried. If you just barely turn it on, that low setting right there is only putting 6 ounces of pressure on the kitchen scale, and it's the quietest one of them all too, at only 69 decibels. Basically, this one has a lower setting and nearly the highest setting possible on the turbo. And this is also quieter than this. This is quieter on the low, this is quieter on the high, and when you put the turbo on, it's all quieter. So low to low, high to high, turbo to turbo, this is always a little bit quieter. I've got my little decibel meter, and in all settings, this was about 2 to 3 decibels quieter than this one. At the highest, at the loudest that you could possibly get is the Toro on turbo, and that I measured at 94 decibels, which is significantly quieter than gas-powered leaf blowers. This, for your regular high, was only 83 decibels. I really like both of these. I like both of their lawnmowers. Their battery systems are really nice. They're very, very strong. The Greenworks Pro 80 volt, the lawnmower that they make is my favorite lawnmower of all the battery mowers because it is the strongest. The leaf blower, it's the same battery. It's not the strongest. This one's the strongest, but man, it's close. This is the second strongest one that I've tested. So right now the Greenworks Pro 80 volt system is looking really, really good. Now this unit is more expensive than the Toro, which is a really compelling reason to buy the Toro, because it is the strongest one, and the Toro lawnmower is really, really spectacular, and it's not expensive at all. This is one of the cheaper high voltage battery blowers that is on the market right now, and it's really, really great. So it's a compelling buy. However, this does give you more versatility. So this sliding scale, both of these, let me flip them around here. Both of them have this same dial here. This is the cruise control. So you can turn it on like that, or you can turn it on with the dial. No matter if you're using this dial, because both of them have it, it's the same thing. No matter if you're using the dial or the trigger, this has more versatility in speed. If you take this turbo away, you've got a lower low with the Greenworks Pro 80 volt, and you've got a higher high with the Greenworks Pro 80 volt. So like for instance, in power, in terms of power, if you put this on low, it's putting 6 ounces of pressure onto a kitchen scale at, you know, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches off the scale, compared to 11 ounces of pressure with this. Now that makes a difference if you're trying to blow tiny little things out of, let's say, mulch that you don't want to move around. You don't want to move gravel around. You don't want to move around wood chips. But you want to get like some, I don't know, some grass clippings or something that landed in there from a weed eater or something like that. The low setting on this is going to be much more delicate. And if you don't want to use the turbo, the high setting on this is stronger than this. The high setting on the Greenworks Pro, I was able to get 3 pounds, 1 ounce of pressure on that scale, compared to only 1 pound and 15 ounce with the Toro. So you've got a much greater versatility scale in power just with the trigger or the cruise control than you do with the Toro. Now, if you truly just want raw power, like the strongest one of them all, once you bust out the turbo mode on both of these, then the Toro wins out. The Toro, like I said before, got to 4 pounds 10 ounce compared to 4 pounds 3 ounce with this. So raw power or pricing, Toro wins hands down. If you want versatility and you don't need the last couple ounces of power, the Greenworks Pro is great. Not to mention the fact that the battery in this also operates my favorite lawnmower out there. So, and again, like I've got other videos about the lawnmowers. I own them. I bought every single one of them, and I don't care which one I like the best. The one that I like the best is the one that I actually like, and that's the Greenworks. So it's nice that this is right up there. Because it's always good to stay in the same battery system if you can, because these batteries are expensive. You can get this tool only for a little under $200, maybe a bigger discount if you can find a sale. If you add the battery on the battery itself, if you buy this with a battery, it comes with a 2.5 amp hour battery. Right now I got a 4 amp hour battery in here because that's what came with the mower. But the 2.5 is what comes with this. That adds about 90 bucks or so to the price tag to this. If you add the 2.5 amp hour battery to this, oh, it adds about 70 bucks more, maybe 60 bucks more. Again, this is not the battery that comes with the blower. This is my lawnmower battery. If you buy this with a battery, it also comes with the 2.5 amp hour. Both of these, in terms of weight, they're about the same. I think this is a little bit lighter. No, I think this one's a little bit lighter. But really, we're talking ounces here. You're not going to notice the difference in the real world. Creature comforts, you get this extra handhold with the Toro, which is nice for ergonomics. You don't get that with that. But they are both pretty nice to hold. I've got the big batteries in these, so both of them kind of want to stay pointed forward, but if you actually used a 2.5, they would both want to tilt down a little bit. Ergonomics, they're both similar. They're both comfortable to hold on to. So I don't think anybody's really going to have a problem with that. I do appreciate, not that I use it, but I appreciate that it's here. You can adjust the tube if you want it super short, or if you just want to take this completely off for storage, or at least just part of it, you can do that. Here you can also take it off, but it's just one tube and there's no like extra nozzles to change the way the airflow exits the machine. I do really think that you're going to get more versatility and usage out of this than you are out of the Toro. However, the Toro machine, the Toro blower here, is an excellent buy at the price tag. At the price that this is selling for, it is worth it, especially if you don't have any other battery powered equipment out there. This is a great starter piece. The Toro brand is very well respected and lots of people love their equipment. They've been making them for, I mean, an enormous amount of time. So if you want this, I mean, don't feel bad. It's a great machine. If I were to buy one of the two of these, like if I didn't own a lawnmower and I didn't own a blower at all, and I just wanted to pick up a leaf blower for the fall season here, I would probably go for this. I just probably would. But then again, if I'm short on cash, boom, I wouldn't feel bad at all about picking that up if that extra little bit of cash for this was too much. So that's my comparison. I hope you've watched some of the others. There are other leaf blowers out there. If you are looking for something that's pretty good but doesn't cost as much, there's Sunjo makes one that's even cheaper than this, and it's going to be fine for most people. It's nowhere near as strong, but it's a little bit heavier, but it is cheaper, so it's worth taking a look at that. I've got some videos on that. They're linked down in the description, maybe up here in a card. Thank you for watching this. I appreciate your time. I try not to be too long-winded, but I do try to get you as much actual helpful information as I possibly can. If you have any questions about either of these, please put them in the comments below, and I'll do my very best to answer them promptly and accurately. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do that. I've got lots of other videos coming out this fall, and I've got some things planned for the winter. Probably not related to the grass, but hey, it's all for fun. Come on, I'll see you in the next video.